Jurors actually started out as 12 Angry Men. It was a teleplay by Reginald Rose, brought out in 1954. It won an Emmy Award. It was adapted for the stage by Sherman Sergel.
12 Angry Jurors is a courtroom drama that doesn't take place in the courtroom. Instead, it takes place in the jury room. It's an amazing show where you have 12 people of all walks of life in one room deciding the fate of a person accused of a crime. And through the discussions in the jury room, you get to learn more about these characters, and you get to learn more about our criminal justice system and the things we think about when we try to determine whether a person's guilty or innocent.
One of the most brilliant things about this show is that it's 12 actors on stage and they never leave.
You've got these 12 actors that are on stage the entire time. There are no scene changes, so there's no sets moving on or off. There's very few props, very few lighting cues, so it's all the actors.
And we couldn't have a better cast for that. Every single one of them brings so much to the literal jury table.
The show is really fun. It's got a lot of really great dynamic actors in it, and I think what would be so cool as an audience member is to be able to watch each different actor at different points in the show, because everybody brings so much.
This cast is just stacked with amazing actors, and but the ones that really carry the heavy load in this show are Juror 8, M.K. Flannery, Juror 4, Gavin Clark, and Juror number 3, Jonah Hart, and Juror number 10 is played by Darren Clark. His character is a key to this entire show.
For just about every show I've been in here in Granbury, I've been cast as the antagonist, or the bad guy, if you will. I've played a Nazi, I've played a child murdering killer and been killed because of it. In fact, I was the psychiatrist that committed Santa Claus and the cop that arrested him. So I'm accustomed to playing the bad guy here. I actually really enjoy it. And I think that through portraying juror number 10, I hope to show maybe something that's hidden, that they might see just a touch of themselves, that might help them look at the way that they see the world, the way that they interact with other people, and that they might make the right change in their life just to be more accepting.
Mary Kate Flannery as juror number 8 is just, she's a powerhouse.
She is a great actress, and she holds this role just with a firm grip. She's solid. She is the protagonist in the show.
Playing juror number 8, I think it's really important for younger women and younger girls to see juror number 8 as a role model and as someone who's strong and not afraid to stand up for themselves and speak up for themselves.
She just does a fantastic job.
She carries so much of this show.
Within the show, I interact mostly with juror number 3. It's played by Jonah Hart.
Juror number 3 has his mind made up, and he becomes more and more angry as he knows that he's losing control. He's losing control of the people around him. Slowly they're all voting against him.
Jonah's an amazing actor. He has such a dynamic range as to what he can play, and we've seen that throughout his history here at the Granbury Opera House, and he's really easy to work off of because he's just solid as an actor. One of my favorite parts is getting to interact with juror number 4, who's played by my son, Gavin Clark. And Gavin, of course, I've seen him grow up being my son, but I've also seen him grow as a performer. And this show shows a lot of his range as a performer. He plays a character who is very logical in his thinking, and he doesn't show a lot of emotion in this show, which is hard for Gavin as an actor because he's usually the outgoing, flamboyant person. But in this one, he's more reserved and more solid as a person and as a performer.
Everybody should see our production here at the Granbury Opera House because you get to be a juror.
That 13th juror member, that's you, the audience.
You get to decide as the show is going on because you're going to be going back and forth. People make really incredible arguments the entire show. That's the whole point. Sort of like a murder mystery where you're trying to figure out who it was, but in this one, you're trying to pick a side.
As relevant as this show was in 1954, it is just as, if not more relevant in 2025.
there's so much more nuance that goes into the majority of court cases that happen in our country, and I don't think people stop to think about that so much in our very quick, 90-second Instagram world. They just kind of see the clip and go, oh yeah, and they make an assumption about somebody's guilt or not.
I really think you're going to see a new dynamic to an age-old story, to see more about the way that people think about guilt and innocence and empathy and compassion and all the things that go into the decisions that juries make.
We'd love for you to come see 12 Angry Jurors at the Granbury Opera House.